I've seen the future.
Hey everybody, it's Colette Baron-Reid. Welcome to the Universal Energy Forecast, the Oracle card forecast for this week, November the 7th, and there are big changes. Well, we all know that, especially if you live in the United States. But everything that's going to be happening this week is going to affect everybody in the whole world. So it's going to be a fascinating week. And here are the cards that are going to share with us a prescription for how to work with the energy and what's going on in the collective and how it applies to you in your life, and so that you can have the best experience, the most aware and conscious and prosperous and peaceful and galvanizing and creative experience that you could have this week. So the first card is really interesting. Oh, and by the way, I decided to use the Wisdom of Avalon deck. I don't know if you guys have seen this because I created them, I think, 10 years ago. These are such a great deck. They were the first time I'd ever actually created an oracle. And there's still, a lot of people still their go-to deck, their first deck, their most favorite deck. So I decided, why not? There's a big change coming. Why not go back to the big change in my life, recoming. This is not making any sense, but you get the picture. I wanted to use them. How's that? Just for you. Okay. The first card that's going to affect everybody this week is the Stag. So it requires us to ask about leadership. Fascinating that we're going to be, or at least I'm not, but I'm in Canada right now, but the Americans are going to be picking a new president. So what are the aspects of leadership? What does that mean to you? Who leads you in your life? Where do you acquiesce for conformity's sake, for example, to say, or where do you refuse and abdicate responsibility for your life? That's really important for you to take a look at this week. And also, how do we feel when we are in that sense of true pride, where we know we're in service, we know we're in alignment, and we're discerning about our choices. And at the same time, we're recognizing that within that sense of personal pride, and we're the pride of home, the pride of, of country, when we stand up for something that has good and good orderly direction, and when it's alignment and of service to others too. So there's a lot of these kind of themes that are coming up for everybody this week, not just in terms of elections and things, but about personal pride and leadership. Now, this is an interesting card to follow this because the Grail Knight follows it, which is really a romantic and idealistic card that talks about how do we seek what is sacred. So if we are to lead, and if we are to take a look at what leadership means to us and lead within our own life and be proud of the life that we have created, then where is the sacred in all of that? Is our world just based on material consumption, or do you see yourself only proud of the accomplishments that you have that are material? This is talking more about the relationship that we have to a higher power and seeking that sacred beauty in all of life, seeing that that the divine is in all things, and then choosing to put that sacred as a priority this week. So what does that mean? These two cards together, the sacred quality of life, the service of life, the being proud of life and your part in life, and also asking yourself, do I have the courage to lead? That's the other thing too. And then asking, who leads me? Now the Merlin is the alchemist card. So Merlin it's a justice card. It brings things back into balance. So for whatever extremes that have been going on, this is a card that reminds us that spirit, nature, everything comes back into balance. Nothing remains in a state of extreme for very long. Everything has to come together. And the alchemy is also about taking all the different parts and turning it into something new and different. And so, for example, they say in the old days that it's turning iron ore into gold. So what can this is a card of transmutation. So the past now becomes the mulch for the new garden that you're planting, instead of the guidepost that you look at to determine where you're at. Now it's much more about let's take what's usable and then create something new. And the wind fairy is about thoughts and words and how your thoughts create your reality, and then how your thoughts create emotion, and the emotion then creates the frequency, and the frequency then creates the opportunity for the reflection to come back. Certainly if we hold our vision for our lives long enough, it's a universal law that eventually we're going to see that reflected in the outer world of conditions. So this is really asking us to take a look at, what do we think about? What are our primary thoughts? And again, this is also about words and our intellect. How do we analyze? Do we overanalyze? Are we looking at things only from the perspective of what we already know and what is predictable? So this is really key this week to stay in that sense of belief that something better could happen, that the sacred quality of life is priority to us, that we can turn iron ore into gold, that we have all the parts to turn our lives into something beautiful, prosperous, peaceful, and meaningful. And then, of course, making sure that we will make a commitment to watch our thoughts and pay attention to them, and then see, these things will eventually become seeds that will plant something that will come to fruition. So this is a really good week to be mindful, but I think I just feel good about this week. Just feels like something good is about to happen, and I hope I'm right. But the cards certainly tell us that it is also a matter of perspective and perception. So I can hardly wait to talk about what happened next week. Have a wonderful week, you guys. Love you, and I wish you the best, and I will see you right here, same time, same place, maybe not the same time, and definitely the same place next week. Take care. And if you like this video, subscribe to my channel and share it with your friends, and leave a comment. I love to read them, and sometimes I might even answer one.
I've seen the future. It's beautiful. I've seen the future.